Hello and welcome to Elizabeth's Craft Room. The next two videos I'm going to do are going to be done with the Home and Hearth framelit set, and I'm going to use this window die. We're going to have one where we're indoors looking out and one when we're outdoors looking in. I'm going to change them up a little bit with some different designer paper and some different bits and pieces. So we'll go ahead and get started. I'm going to do the one with the brick wall first of all. Right, we're going to start off with the embossing folder, and this is the brick wall embossing folder. I'm lining that up, and my first change is I'm going to have my bricks in tip-top taupe. So there's my bricks, and to give a little bit more definition, I'm turning it that way up. You can have it either way. I'm just going to add some tip-top taupe ink over the top. Also got some early espresso on this one here, and so I'm just going to rub some early espresso on there. Can you see the way that has just given so much definition to those bricks? They look like real bricks now. So we're going from outside to inside, and so the next thing we need to do is we need to be able to see through. Now I'm going to cut a window frame in white, but before I cut my window frame in white, I actually want to decide where I'm going to look through. And so I've made myself a template by cutting two of the window frames and sticking them back to back in the thick whisper white. That then gives me the opportunity to draw round. I know that is where I'm going. Now I could use a trimmer, but actually because I've got the width of the window frame, if you like, to work with, I don't need to be super accurate. I'm just going to go about 1/8 of an inch outside that line, because this is all going to be, all my my rough cutting is going to be hidden. And then we've got a hole through our wall, and when we put our window frame on, that's going to hide that rough edge. So I've cut that out with the Big Shot in thick whisper white, and you do need a pricking tool to release. There's lots of little release buttons, and you can just press down to pop out the cardstock and pop that out. Okay, so that now is going to glue around the edge of the window on this side. Let's pop that over. Make sure we can't see any of the edges. And that's our window on there. So flip it over, and on the back I'm first going to stick my window sheet. Now you don't have to use window sheet, you can have that empty, but I just really like the effect of having the window sheet. So I'm going to stick that on. You can do that with Tombow. I'm going to actually just use tear and tape just for speed here. I'm just going to stick that top and bottom there, a little bit at the sides just to catch it. And the size that you want your window sheet, your minimum size is going to be 3 inches by 2 3/8 of an inch. And that's going to be where we put, and stick our window sheet on. There we go. And other than the fact I've got a bit of glue on there which I need to clean off, there's our window done. Now I'm going to, if you see this, I'm actually going to lift this up a little bit and have a little bit of distance between this window frame and the background. So I'm now going to reach for my base card, which in this case is going to be a cherry cobbler, and I need to have my piece of wallpaper that's going to be in there. So I need to make sure I get that positioned right. So I'm using Tombow. So I've got some good wiggle room to get that in position. So that's going to be about there. Now let's make sure that looks about right. If I'd used a bigger piece, I've actually used the same size as the window sheet, the 2 3/8 by 3, but actually if I'd used a bigger piece I would have given myself a bit more flexibility as to where I'm placing that, but that looks nice. The designer paper that I've used is actually working really well for wallpaper. It's out of the big catalogue and it's the Timeless Elegance designer paper is where this piece has come from. I've also been using the Winter Wonderland DSP which is where the striped wallpaper comes from, if you like that one. Okay, so because I have actually used the size, I know that that's roughly where I'm going to be able to see as I look through. The Christmas tree that I want to peep through the window and see, I'm actually going to use the one from Lovely as a Tree. There is a stamp set that matches this particular framelit, but Lovely as a Tree just goes on and I absolutely adore it. So that's the Christmas tree of my choice that I'm going to pop through the window. There you go, so you can see that through. Now I'm just looking at that, and because of the pattern, that's a little bit undefined. So I'm going to wing it now. And I'm going to stamp over the top. And I'm not worried about this, the tree bits being in the wrong place, because all that is hidden. I'm going to stamp over the top with a memento. There you go. Now that's actually really helped. It only looks like I've got some other branches on there, but that's really helped with the definition. So I've done 2 layers, one of garden green, one of black memento, and it doesn't matter. I have tried to line up fairly well, but it's not perfectly lined up. Doesn't matter, it just looks like extra branches. So my winging it has paid off today, so that looks okay. So the other thing I want is a curtain, and I'm going to put that on the back of my front piece, again giving some more definition. And my curtain of choice is going to be made from some offcuts of ribbon. This is the In Colour, mostly the In Colour designer ribbon. That one isn't. That's a Sahara Sand one. What colour curtains should we have in this house, do you think? Should we go for? Oh, I think we'll be quite cheery or green. Which colour? Ooh, decisions. I think the owner of this house is going for green curtains. That's what I used before, actually, looking at it. I'm using the frilly edge outwards, and again I'm going to go with the tear and tape. So I'm putting a piece across the top of my window and securing my curtain there, and then I want to pull it back and secure it at the side. So I will have some tape down here at the side to hold it, and what I'm going to do is to take a little piece of the cording trim as a tie back and actually tie, whoops, sorry, off the camera, tie a little knot in the cording trim here somewhere, and I can adjust that as I need to. I think the height's about right. You can just slide that up and down if you need to, and cut the ends off. That's my little tie back. So I'm going to use the tape now to take just the edge of that piece there, and then to hold it back around about where the tie back is, and then cut off down at the bottom. Then when we look through, hopefully, we've got a nice curtain, and I've put that on the same side as the tree. Okay, bear with me. Sometimes you don't concentrate when you're doing videos. I'm just going to restamp this. There's embellishment opportunities, and then there's I've just got to restamp it. So I got another piece of designer paper. That's better. It's knowing your left from your right. It can be helpful. Okay, I'm going to jazz this up just a little bit. I've decided we need to have some coloured baubles on that tree. I didn't do this last time, but as I fouled it up, let's make it better for you. Okay. Yay, I like that. Okay, so now I need to lift the height of this, which I'm going to do with dimensionals. And so I'm going to use some edge pieces of my dimensionals here. Pop that layer on, and we've got our decorated Christmas tree. And I think we need a little Merry Christmas in there. And I think I'm going to use the Thinking of You at Christmas out of White Christmas, and I'll put the Sending Every Good Wish on the inside there. Just popped a little flag end on there, and I'll pop up with some dimensionals again. The Thinking of You at Christmas. And because this is quite a dark colour, we'll put the other greeting, whoops, which is our Sending Every Good Wish for the coming new year. I'll stamp that on the inside. And then we can just stick an inner panel onto that card. Well, we got there in the end, a few little tweaks and a few little changes. I really like the new version. What do you think? So here's my original with the red brick. And here's our new version, different coloured wallpaper, a double stamp tree with some baubles on it. I like the baubles. I hope you've enjoyed your visit to Elizabeth's craft room today. Tell me which one you like the best. I will be back soon to show you the other way round, being inside looking out with the window. Thanks for visiting today.